Hello everyone, I am Allison Gonzalez. I am a Microsoft Certified Trainer here at Pragmatic Works. And in this episode of my Power Query series, we are going to be talking about the ways we are able to combine data sources together into one. So there's a few different ways that we can do that, and we are specifically going to be talking about an append. So when we are doing an append queries, we are bringing together two files that have the same column structure. We can also combine multiple files that all have the same column structure all in one. Now, there's other ones like a merge, and a merge is where we're bringing rows over. So a merge and append, two totally different. And in the next video, we're going to talk about a merge where our row structure is the same. We just want additional columns moved over. But in this one, we are going to talk about, hey, if we have, let's say it's a monthly report or a weekly report, any report that we are getting where that data is in the same column structure. We might have a different amount of rows, but we have the same column structure. And in that case, we're like, hey, instead of looking at our October, our November, the August one, like looking at these all separately, I want these just in one. It makes so much more sense, have them in one, and I can figure everything out. And so we can do that in Power Query extremely easily. Now, remember, with Power Query, I can do this in Power Query in Excel or Power Query in Power BI, and it's going to be the same in both places. So last time we looked at it in Excel first and then at Power BI. This time we're going to start in Power BI and then we'll see the same result in Excel at the end. So let's go ahead, take a look, see what our file structure looks like, and then take it into Power Query in Power BI to combine these together using an append. All right, so here is what I have in this folder. I have two files. I have a file with credit card complaints and a file with student loan complaints. So I can see that they each have the same structure. In each of them, they have the same amount of columns, the same content in those columns. The columns are in the correct order. All that good stuff is done already. I also do want to point out these are different file types, and that is not going to be a problem. So if you're like, oh no, do I need to change my file types prior to this? Or maybe some of my columns are out of order. We are able to change all of that in Power Query prior to even doing these steps. So here's what we have. Let's go ahead, launch Power BI, and we will launch Power Query inside of Power BI and bring in these files. Take a look at them, see if there was anything we wanted to do to clean these up before doing our append. All right, I have the Power BI desktop open, and now I'm just going to go up to that top right corner to get data, and I'm going to click Excel Workbook first to bring in my first source. Now remember, I have two files, each are a different file type. Now when I go out, it is going to launch. I can see, navigate over to where they are saved. And we're going to bring in that student loan complaint first. So I'm going to hit open. Because this is an Excel file, I have to choose what inside of that file I'm going to bring over. For this one, I'm just bringing over the only thing in there, my student loan complaints. And now at the bottom, we talked about this a lot in our last video, which if you have not watched that yet, pause this one, go back, watch that. We do a full tour around the Power Query editor. So go back, pause this one, go launch a new window, go back, catch up to where we're at so you see all of the details, all the buttons, everything we're gonna click. And then once you're done with that, come back over here and resume this one. But if you already watched that one, you're ready to go. We talked about the difference. Hey, if I'm hitting load, or if we're in Excel, we're doing load or load to, that is going to take the data exactly as is and just dump it into Power BI or into Excel. We don't want that. We want to take it into Power Query, and to take it into Power Query, this is where we're hitting that transform data button. So we definitely want to make sure that we are going with this transform data button. Take this in. Once we are in, we don't want that yellow load button or that green load or load to in Excel. We want to take this right into Power Query. If we had to, we could do any modifications, adding columns, removing them, changing their order that we would need to get them in the right shape, and then we'll do our append. So we're going to bring in this one first. We're going to hit transform data. We're going to let that load up. Here we are in Power Query, and I can see that student loan complaint is listed. I have all of my columns. Let's go ahead and bring in our other source. So I'm going to click New Source, Text CSV, and bring in my credit card complaints. And there we go. We're going to end up with 2 queries. We'll hit OK. This is a CSV file, not an Excel, so I don't have to choose anything. I get what I get with it. So we're going to hit OK. And there we go. We've got our student loan complaints. I can navigate my queries in my query pane on the left. I can see that data, that first 999 rows in my preview window here in the center section. And I can check through all of the applied steps that Power Query has already taken for me. Smart little robot brain working in the background. You can see this is the source, that original file for the student loans. We can see when we chose that navigation, what we chose. We chose this exact file. Power Query looked at that and was like, ooh, that first row, that's actually your headers, promoted that for us. And then finally it looked at each of the columns, looked at the content inside of those columns, and was like, you know what? Let's be more specific here with our data types, that way we can get our filters and everything like that set properly. So it changed the type. I can see these icons set here in my headers, so that way I can identify all of those types. So this is what I did for student loans. I can also double check with credit card complaints, see what's going on. So I can see here's where we started our very first part. There is no navigator window for a CSV file. So my next step was that promoted headers, where I was like, oh, you're missing those headers, let's bring those up. And then again, it also went through and adjusted any types that needed to be adjusted. Now it's important to note with this, if you are doing an append, we want to make sure our column types are the same. That way they are able to match up and everything makes sense together. So I can see my order and verify that it's complaint ID, product, subproduct, issue, and so on, all the way across. If one was not in the right order, I could easily go flip that around, change it, remove it, add in a column, even if it was a blank, just to generate that blank space or that column to be able to match up with the other one. So now that we've verified that the content of both of our 2 separate data sources are the same, we are now going to be able to do our append. Now when we are doing an append, we actually have 2 options. Now with these options, I can either append my queries or append as new. What this means is if I just do an append query, I can say, hey, you know what? I want you to add credit card complaints onto my student loan complaints. Then I'm only going to have 2 queries here in my left query pane. I tend to prefer doing an append as new. That way it takes both of these and it creates a new query here that has both of them inside of it. And this would be an append as new. Generally, that is one I prefer because I like my data sources to stay unique, stay where they're at, and kind of be able to trace their lineage a little bit easier. Nothing wrong with doing a regular append. Personally though, I prefer an append as new to get this full separate item. Makes things in my mind a little bit easier to track. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to do an append queries as new to get that 3rd query that has both student loans and credit card complaints added in together. So for an append as new, it doesn't really matter which one you are on. If you're doing a regular append, it does matter because whatever one I have selected, I will add the other to that one. So if I have student loans complaints selected and hit append queries, it would add credit card complaints to the student loans. But if I did it the other way, it would kind of be swapped. Append as queries doesn't matter because both are going into the new source. So when I click on that append queries as new, I get this nice little pop-up where I get to choose if I'm picking 2 tables or 3 or more. Here's what that window looks like when you're picking 3 or more. Now we're just going with 2. And so my first table, student loans, I can adjust that here as well. Second table, we'll put that other one, credit card complaints. So I know I've got both of those in, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK. Now, almost instantaneously, thanks to the speed of the Power Query Editor, we have a new query here, which is my append 1, which is a combination of both of these together. So I have both the student loan complaints and the credit card complaints in here. I can verify that by just going to this drop down I can see, okay, well, my list may be incomplete, but remember, we're only pulling in that first 1,000 rows, and I know I have more than that in these files. So I'm going to go load more. It's going to go out, see if there's any other content in that column, and I can identify that, yep, I've got credit cards and I've got student loans. This append was successful. I have both of those data sources now together, living harmoniously in one query. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel on this. And then with this data, it would be a good idea, of course, to have a good name here. Append 1, really lousy name. Let's just go ahead and rename this to complaints. And then there's one other step that we must do before we take this data into the Power BI desktop or take it into Excel, whatever program we were in at the time, just to make sure that we weren't wasting space or giving ourselves unnecessarily duplicated information. And that's because if I did a close and apply right now or a close and load, that would take all three of these queries, which again, we know complaints is a combination, so I'd be double loading this into the desktop. I do not want to bring my original sources into the desktop separately. We want to get rid of these two. But I can't get rid of these. I can't fully delete these because these serve as the source and also my path if I wanted to see these files, if they got updated, anything like that. I need to retain these. So what we're actually going to do is hide them. So we're going to essentially just smush them up here. We're going to disable the load so that way they stay here in Power Query and they do not go into Excel or Power BI. They're going to stay here, smushed away, serving as the original path back to that file. So to disable the load, you're just going to right click on each student loan complaints, credit card complaints, and I'm going to come down here where it says enable load and I am going to click to unenable that or disable it. So we're going to click that. As soon as I do that, you're going to see it go into italics. That is your hint that this is staying here in Power Query and will not travel into the desktop. Let's do the same thing for our other source. Go down to enable load to disable that. Now I know that complaints is the only thing that is going to go into the Power Query desktop or to Excel if that was a program I was in. Now, if I want to verify this just to be sure or track back original sources, if I inherit this file and I was like, oh, where is everything coming from? I can always go to my View ribbon and go to my Query Dependencies. This is going to pop up and show me, hey, here's the original source for your file. I can verify that the load was disabled. Here's the new one that was created from those two sources. So I can see the original source, where that lives, brought that in to Power Query. That load is disabled, it's staying here in Power Query, and then here's my new one that I'm going to take into the desktop or into Excel. Let's close this out. Close out of Power Query. We'll do our close and apply, take this into the desktop, and then we'll see this, go take a peek at it in Excel as well. All right, our load is done. I can see all of my columns here in my fields in my report view. Let's go over to our data view, make sure all that data came through. So I can verify in that product column, yep, I've got credit cards and I've got student loans, so that append was successful. I combined two files that had the same column structure. Great way to combine all of those monthly reports where you're tracking the same thing week over week, month over month, and you don't want to look at a bunch of separate reports. You want to just look at one spot. So that did this very successfully for us. Let's go jump over into Power Query in Excel, see the same thing. Here we are with the same data in Excel, which we did the exact same steps in Power Query. Now, when you are doing this, the slight difference is with your load process. So if you by default have everything set when you're doing a load to connection only, because you want your credit card complaints to only be serving as a connection. That gives you that link in the back end. But with your complaints, this is what you would want to have it loading to a table if you're using that, a pivot table, or if you were doing create, if you had a lot of data, did that connection only, and you took that into Power Pivot. But we can see the slight difference there. If I want to go back into Power Query, I can launch my Power Query editor. I can see my original sources, see the new one. I've got my append queries button that I did that append as new, followed all those steps, when I did that close and load. See, I have my connections only for my 2 original sources that just serve as a connection to its original file. And then my new one, which I actually changed my load so that way I got my table, or I could change it if I had a lot of data over that million row limit. I could always keep it at that only create connection and then instead open that up in Power Pivot. All right, I hope you found this episode of my Power Query series helpful. Combining data is one of the things we help people with all of the time. It's a great way for you to bring those separate data sources, really the same content, but you're opening them up in a bunch of different reports or files. Bring them all together, make your life, your analytics a lot easier with an Append. Next time, we'll be back to talk about a merge, how that works, what we should consider, all of that good stuff. So if you like it, definitely click that like button, subscribe so you can stay up to date on when we're dropping new videos. And hopefully I will see you back here on our Pragmatic Works channel soon.